Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here to Blow the Whistle, the live stream.
Straight out of Lombard.
We've been here for years.
Hey, that was pretty decent.
I know, right?
That wasn't bad.
We did pretty good, guys.
Good
job, boys. Way to start.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys did your best to not be the whitest people we know. Welcome, everybody.
I mean,
I'm
glowing white today.
You're shiny over there.
Everybody's like, what the? Dykstra's not wearing a hat.
I know. It's a weird one, but folks, I am Andrew Pepe Valentin. I am hosting Blow the Whistle TV site for the first time ever, but I'm here, of course, with
David Double D Dykstra
and
Tyler Butterball Buterball, also known as Yo Ball and Chain.
Absolutely, and
AKA Aka.
What?
AKA.
Okay.
Aka.
You know what? We got a lot for you guys today. We got some breaking news. We got football. We've got basketball. We've got baseball. We've got all the good stuff
and
to
we're
talk
on a
about.
time restraint.
And we got a time restraint because our boy
Time is the essence.
TJ Knacker in the back, aka the Knack, has to go make his money, ladies and gentlemen. So
TJ shrugs his shoulder.
I mean, you know,
I got bills to pay. What do you want?
exactly. So without
Vet bills. Vet bills to pay.
Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, obviously, real quick, if you want to hit us up, as always, Blow T Whistle on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Blow T Whistle radio@gmail.com on the email for any comments or questions like that. And of course, you can find us on all podcasting platforms across the world, especially QuadPod. And why is that, David?
Because QuadPod doesn't forget about you unless you don't have a goddamn headshot.
Just send him your headshot, David.
It's true, you could do
I've
that.
changed so much since we actually did first do those headshots. It'd probably be a good idea.
It's then an updated one.
Dude, when I started here, it was tight.
It was.
Yeah.
It was tight.
And now it's.
And you can see the triple chin.
I could honestly, I should probably send him a new headshot. Mine's kind of douchey.
Well, I mean.
Wow. And of course, Brandon, who is not with us any longer, is also part of that. So, but he's with us in spirit.
Is he?
He's
though?
with us in spirit.
Is
Yes,
he?
he is.
He's too
I
big-
just wished him a happy birthday, and he said, "You guys are doing a great job." So-
Listen, he's too busy clogging to worry about
Oh my
us.
God, have you sent him any of those videos yet?
No, I have not.
I sent him one.
Okay,
I need to send it to him.
Yeah, exactly.
So he knows what we're talking about.
Yes.
He'll
I
I just
understand.
can't believe he went from IMS to the CMA Awards. That's what killed me.
And how he's not on the wall out there makes no sense.
That's true. That's very.
He's
true.
at the CMAs.
Well, things will hopefully be changing soon. Our man has to
In
be
front
famous.
of Peyton Manning.
Yes, that's true.
Clog dance right on that forehead.
Our man knows how to break a move or two. But folks, are you ready to get into this, my friends?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, we're going to start this one off real quick because it is just breaking news, and that is that Patrick Kane, lifelong Blackhawk legend, likely to be first ballot Hall of Famer, will retire a Blackhawk at some point. Well, his career will have etched on it as well the New York Rangers, because he has officially been traded to the New York Rangers. In the trade itself, the New York Rangers are sending a 2023 second-round conditional pick, which likely could be a first-round pick, but it would be around 2024, 2025, as well as a 2023 fourth-round pick for the services of Patrick Kane. In this deal also, the New York Coyotes helped to broker the deal, so...
You mean the Phoenix Coyotes?
Phoenix Coyotes, excuse me. So, listen, until they start winning hockey games, I'll...
Listen, man. I don't know if you've ever been to New York, but I've never seen a coyote in New York.
I have,
Except
actually.
in the zoo.
Well, I mean... Listen, when you're in New York, you'll find all kinds of things, trust
We're
me.
not talking about your furry obsessions.
Listen, don't put my fetishes out there for people to know, okay?
We're already derailing.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I guess the big question here, and I'll start with you, David, and I'll throw it to everybody out there. What are your thoughts of the Patrick Kane deal? Are you guys already going to start fighting?
Yes.
Okay.
I swear to God, this is the first time I've been in the middle, dude, and I feel like I'm playing tennis.
I hate being in
Welcome
the
to
middle.
our world.
Every time, if it's like you guys, I'm
boom,
like,
boom,
bam,
boom. Yeah, exactly.
That's why I made sure I sat over here. I'm like, I've never sat over here before.
That's why I like sitting on the edge.
This is nice.
Exactly. So to you, David. Sorry, that got me. To you, David, I ask you the question, and again, everybody else. What are your thoughts on the Patrick Kane deal and what was given back to the Blackhawks for the Blackhawks legend himself? What are your thoughts?
Kaner as a Ranger, I like.
Okay.
Big market, and if he can bring a Stanley Cup to the Rangers, you will never have to buy a drink in the first and third biggest cities in the United States of America. Then all you have to do is sign with the LA Kings and win a Stanley Cup there, and you'll have it made for life.
The Kings aren't too far off from that. So,
Yeah. But as far as what they got back, should they have probably gotten a little bit more? I would say yes.
Mm-hmm.
The people that were calling for 2 first-round draft picks, you're morons. You're delusional. I'm not trying to be an a-hole here.
Right.
He's up there in age by
I'm not
now.
a
So
huge-
it's kind of hard.
He's 33.
Yeah, it's
I'm
kinda
not
hard.
a huge NHL guy. He is probably going to start here in the next 2 years on the decline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could still play quality minutes, still brings a lot to the table. He's more of a team player now than he's ever been. Look at me with my pen. I just noticed that. I've got my pen in my hand and I feel all official. But no, God, I feel like I'm actually being serious. And it's weirding me out.
Professor David.
But no, I think it's a good move for the Blackhawks. You get a little something back in return.
Okay.
Not a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah.
But I want to say the NHL draft is a lot like the MLB draft. There's quality in these later rounds that can be developed into something great.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So to get a second and a fourth, all right. You're not digging in the depths of how many rounds are there now? I believe it's 7.
TJ, remind me if you can, but I believe it's 12 rounds in NHL.
I don't know. I think it was down to 7 now because
I thought
yeah, 'cause 12 is a
I thought
lot
they
in
had
a
trimmed
long
it
time.
down to 7. 2.
7
rounds.
7
yes.
rounds.
So you're getting a quality player in a second round more than likely.
Yeah.
Possibly a workhorse, not a star,
Right.
but who knows?
Yeah.
And then in the 4th round, you're probably getting like a lump of coal that needs to be turned into something.
Compressed into the diamond.
I mean, the
kind of
Rangers
thing.
will have to make the Eastern Conference Finals in order for that pick to become a first.
Mm-hmm.
Kaner, if you were a good Blackhawk, you'd make it to the conference finals.
He'd do it probably.
Put it out there for you. Do a Lovie Smith, man.
Yeah.
Exactly. Take one for the
Absolutely.
team.
Obviously, this was something that we saw kind of coming. He had traveled with the Blackhawks to Los Angeles to play the Kings, and then obviously came back home to Chicago. So a lot of people were saying that a trade was likely going to happen. He was going to get ready to get packaged up and moved out. And I think it took a while because the Kings have been trying to clear up cap space because obviously he's a giant hit. It sounds like they're going to have to take on the full of what's left of his contract, which I believe is about $2 or $3 million, maybe, or maybe a little bit less than that.
They're gonna take 2.6 million,
Yes.
while Chicago's retained 50 of it, and then the Coyotes are taking the other 50.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, and that's understandable because that contract is.
But I'm still trying to
massive.
figure. Is it still? We still haven't figured it out. What are the Coyotes getting out of this?
I think they're just taking a part in the deal.
Oh, so they're just
to
helping
kind
the
of
Rangers
I
out,
think
really?
they're just trying to help that out in this case. I mean, they're
That's
just
They're
weird.
so bad that they're just going to take on money that they can't
yeah.
afford to
Unless
take on.
there's
What
something
the-
else to be added in their picks.
That's just the weirdest thing ever. But I mean, hey,
cash considerations are always a part of the trade.
TJ,
true.
They are always trying to get to the there's a salary cap.
Yep.
There's also a salary basement, I believe, and they're always trying to barely get above that.
Yep.
So they may be taking on some of the salary from that to try and get on that kind of we're not making any money, quote
Yep.
unquote. Yeah.
They need to make it look like they have enough money to stay afloat.
Sneaky.
Because you can't get below a certain point, but you can't go above a certain point. Hence the hard cap.
and then and that way they don't have to go back to Hartford. Come.
Or move to
Oh!
Why'd you put it there?
or move to probably another province of Canada.
Listen, I wouldn't mind the Hartford Whale to come back, man. Not gonna lie.
No, gonna be canceled. Cancel culture. No Whalers. It's offensive. So offensive to
Offensive.
whales.
All right, we'll put
I
them in
said
New
the
Mexico.
Hartford Whales. I didn't say Whalers.
I wish I wore my
which-
Whalers hat.
Oh, I wish you would have.
I had a Whalers.
I didn't put the R on it. I'm not going to cancel.
God.
Oh my God.
All right. Well,
Vancouver
I mean,
already has a whale on there. They can't do it.
real quick. God. Real quick, before we get out of this Patrick Kane stuff and move on to the more pertinent stuff, to you, Tyler, just real quick, do you think then this makes the New York Rangers, in your mind, they're sitting right now third in the Metropolitan, they're vying for a chance to get into the playoffs. Do you think that Patrick Kane going to the Rangers makes them a bona fide playoff team? Do you think that's enough to push them to maybe win a Stanley Cup?
I think he'll make that. I think he'll give them that little bit of an edge to that jump to get up there because, I mean, he's coming off of a fantastic game. He had just had a hat trick like a week ago.
Yeah, he had.
So he still got it, and I think. Yeah. And being back in New York, I mean, he's not. I mean, obviously he's from Buffalo, but he's in the state in New York, his home state. Yeah, I think he's gonna be. I think just that new atmosphere is gonna be good for him, and then being back at his home state, I think that's gonna be fine. So I mean, I think they could help the Rangers for sure, and then obviously the Blackhawks are just totally blowing it up.
Yeah, it goes to say that.
I don't care to see what else happens with the Blackhawks.
Right.
Time to build from the ashes.
Absolutely. And we will see what comes from said ashes if they can rebuild this team back to its glory days. It's going to take a while. Obviously, they're hoping that they get the number 1 pick for Connor Bedard, but there's a lot more that'll go into it, and we'll be talking about that later on throughout the year because, folks, we've got Bears talk we've got to move into now because as we've kind of alluded to if you were listening to the radio side, but we got the TV side and we got Tyler here finally.
I'm back, baby.
So the Bears are.
I can't get a guest for my show. I need to take more time.
I wasn't gonna say anything because I don't do that.
Hey,
so
it
I'll
takes
put him on blast.
I know.
How long did you know you had the show?
a week.
You know, maybe you should have started calling that week.
Well, you know, things change, so. I usually give myself a couple of days. It's hard getting a hold of an NFL person. I swear.
That's fair.
So I got Cole Kubulek
I'm not
from
one judging
the SEC
here.
Network.
Yeah,
He was good.
oh, good.
You guys tell us a little more about Jalen Carter and Will Anderson.
Prospects? Okay.
There you go.
See, I got great, and I even got Ben Verlander.
Tyler's thinking about the
Justin
future,
Verlander's
baby.
brother.
Yeah.
I got him on. He was really good.
Listen, I don't want to hear nothing unless you get Verlander's wife.
All right. Well,
Hey, Score could get other wives to come on and talk about people. I'm just saying.
Well, lawsuits may come about. Allegedly.
It's happening.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Bears, obviously, if you didn't see, Adam Schefter put out a tweet basically saying that the Bears are leaning towards trading the number 1 overall pick at this point. Ryan Poles was quoted as saying that it was always kind of the direction they were going in, considering that Justin, being Justin Fields, did some really good things. And he said, Ryan Poles also said that he is going to be in constant communication with Justin Fields to update him on the process at hand to make sure that he's not kept out of the loop. So the question that I have to the fans, and then I'll start with you, Tyler, for the Bears, obviously now making note of the fact that they're going to look to trade the number 1 overall pick, and there's a ton of teams that seem like they might be interested in making all these moves. For you, on your side of things, where do you see the Bears going with the number 1 pick, considering that we now know that there are 5 potential teams in the mix for this number 1 overall pick right now, as we've heard?
I mean, I totally think they're definitely trading down for sure.
Okay.
I mean, because there's lots of holes that they need to fill in this Bears team. And being able to trade back, gain some extra picks, helps you build that depth and the missing holes that there are on this team. It just kind of all depends because you made a nice list over here of the teams that are interested is Houston, Indianapolis, Vegas, Atlanta, and Carolina. So, I mean, it kind of all the Bears. I mean, Ryan Poles, he's really going to have to. I know he's going to sit and think because if you trade outside of Houston or Indiana, you lose your chances of getting either Jalen Carter or Will Anderson Jr., which has been the talks that those two are your defense-changing players. That's really going to take it like a lead for the defense and really change it overall all around.
Yeah.
But you trade further down, like Vegas at 7, Atlanta 8, Carolina at 9. That's more value. And they can get even not only just a few more picks for this year, aside from possible players as well, but I mean, you can get picks for next year, like a first round for next year, depending. The list that you gave us right here, this is just picks. And so, I mean,
yeah, the
one that I like the most, I mean, the one with Indiana is going to be the best because you'll still get that 4th overall pick. You still have your possibility. Because if Indiana's going to trade up to number 1, they're getting a quarterback. Houston's going to get a quarterback. So there's Will Anderson and Jalen Carter still for 3 and 4. Either of those two guys, the Bears are going to be improving that defense significantly.
Right.
And so that way you still get the chance of those. You'll get the 33rd overall pick, which is almost equivalent to the pick they traded away with Claypool. So you get that pick back, and then you get another 4th-round pick. So, I mean, you get a few extra picks, and this is aside from players.
Right.
And, and
that's the thing to keep in mind is that this is just picks, and this is just per Pro Football Focus on their measured scale. There's no actual science to this other than what you put in the value of the number 1 pick being that team.
The only thing, so if going with just picks again, and I'm looking at the Carolina one that what PPF is basing out of. The Bears, if they did that and just did it with picks, they could end up with 2 first-round picks for the next 2 years.
Yes.
Which that would be huge. But again, you're going to be sitting at number 9 now. Who's really going to be there that the Bears can pick that's going to be like elite changing for your defense?
Right.
Or offense, which direction you want to go to.
Well, I mean, you and I talked about it yesterday.
Yeah.
If you're going to trade down that far, you're probably looking at Stronsky, right?
You're looking at, from where I've seen in that 6 to 10 range, you've got guys like Quentin Johnston, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Peter Skoronski, you've got Paris Johnson Jr. There's offensive tackles and wide receivers that will be at that spot. And because I think about it now,
and Eberflus did say something about what he put a notice on that they're looking for a wide receiver, like the guy that
absolutely
like he clearly pointed out, like, we don't have a guy that, like, at receiver position that can like make big plays, game changer, all that kind of stuff. So that's what they're looking for in this draft.
That's a smart thing they should point out.
Wait until next year.
Yes. Hopefully.
Marvin Harris Jr.
That's right. I forgot he's not until next year.
But here's please.
I'm just going to say this. I know you love the Indianapolis one, and that to me is the most enticing as well.
Yes.
If I'm a Bears fan. But I'm going to tell the Bears fans right now, do not be surprised if you trade with Atlanta. Atlanta has been very, very quiet.
In your reference then to moving off of Marcus Mariota for the release.
And then they moved off of Marcus Mariota today.
Because, Mariota's gone, and so they're going to really want a quarterback.
Why? Desmond Ritter's the man.
No, they're getting Lamar Jackson.
You're going to get Lamar Jackson.
Well, and that's what I said. I said it was for one of 2 reasons.
Yeah.
It was either to trade up with the Bears or see what it was going to take to get Lamar Jackson in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I'll freely admit that.
Imagine a move like this. They trade with the Bears to get number 1 overall. They use that pick to trade with Baltimore to add on
that would be the first time
package.
Baltimore's ever had the number 1 pick. They've never had it in their entire life. And
that'd be wild.
Baltimore at that point then would be probably picking a quarterback, which many have argued that if Baltimore were to make that move, like what if Lamar went to Chicago for the number 1 pick? Would the Bears do that, right? And then what would Baltimore do? Because it sounds like they want to go to more of a passing attack than anything, which Lamar's all like gung-ho for, even though that's not really his style. So that makes it very interesting. But in reference to obviously what the Bears wanting to pick, they've got Jalen Carter and Will Anderson Jr. as kind of the top guys right now. I was talking with somebody recently, and me always looking at things from every freaking angle because my mind's like a spider's web that won't stop. I started thinking about it. I'm like, if you think about the way that the NFL draft has gone with defensive players, an edge rusher, I think, has more value than a defensive tackle. But overall, defense has been the way the Bears have always gone, and it's never really amounted to much outside of 2006 and 2018. But you traded for Khalil Mack, a already all-pro player.
Yeah.
And it was 1 season really with him. So I think the smart thing here would be for them to bounce back, maybe to Indianapolis, get picks, then maybe bounce back even further to like the Panthers. So going from 4 to 9.
It's that microphone, man. I'm telling you.
It's something. It's supposed to be the good one. Going from 4 to 9. So now you're trailing back, but now you get more draft picks because the Panthers will likely still make a decent move to get to 4. So then they get more draft picks. They get a longevity for being able to build their future, and you get to pick your player. That's the biggest thing.
I have seen a lot when it comes to that 8 or 9 slot. Miles Murphy's still sitting there.
He is.
And that is a animal when it comes
that's
to
a great
edge
pick.
rusher.
Yeah, he's a solid edge rusher. He was for Clemson. Outstanding guy. Was second, I think, in best defensive lineman for this
Who's
year.
the other guy? I keep forgetting his name from Tech.
Tyree Wilson.
Yes.
Tyree
But
Wilson.
he's looking like a little higher now.
He's like Leonard Fournette, or not Leonard Fournette, Leonard Floyd.
Yeah.
He's a
that's
lot
a
like
good
Leonard
comparison.
Floyd. He's long, he's tall, he's fast, but he's kind of skinny. And it's like, well, where do you put him? Does he put on weight and play defensive end, or does he play linebacker?
See, that's an awkward. Yeah, that's like the thing. That's the awkward position.
Yeah,
You got the kid from Iowa too,
you do.
Oh,
Van Ness.
Yeah.
yeah.
The kid looked good, but they're building anytime you get a kid that looks like a Greek god because he's like 6'5", 275 and has like an 8-pack. I always question those dudes because
He's got
the
separated
physique,
muscles.
Yeah, because the physique always looks good.
I mean,
but
it worked for DK.
Well,
Aaron Donald.
that's true. Well, Aaron Donald had to get in shape.
Yeah.
He came in a little out of shape, and then he was like rock solid by year 7. So I don't know. I'm always a little suspect with
he
those
ate his
guys.
Wheaties.
Yeah, but I don't know if the Bears should make the focal point of their draft defense. And
Well, no. I mean, obviously.
I mean,
not.
you're gonna have your pick,
Right.
Of in Jigbu or
Johnston. Yeah.
at that slot at 8 or 9 because they're not projected until after 10
Yeah.
on most boards.
most of
Yeah,
the ones
absolutely.
most I've seen it.
They want to stay in that top 10 to try and get a premier player.
Quentin Johnston is your high point wide receiver.
Yeah.
You can tell him to go up and get it, and he'll go up and get it.
My only concern, I mean, obviously, because we were talking about like they can be picking Skoronski at that point.
Yes.
One of our guests from yesterday, Cole, he was saying that, yeah, I mean, Skoronski is probably one of the best offensive linemen in the draft, but he's like, he literally said, he's like, but honestly, like there's guys that are just a little under the radar that you can get just as good as him.
Of course.
And he's going to be like in the 2nd or 3rd round. So he's like, he's not super sold on Skoronski.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm not saying not to be. Because,
Right.
I mean, that's a guy that the Bears could really use.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm saying there's talent that the Bears can wait off. I would worry about, like,
There was truly
the wide receiver level or a defensive
Right.
level.
Yeah,
there
absolutely.
was truly only one right tackle that was head and shoulders above everyone else, but he decided to go back to school for his senior year,
Yeah.
and that was Ulu from Penn State.
He was the highest graded offensive lineman in college football last year. So
Oh, yeah.
he would have probably been projected as the top pick. He was looking that way until he just said he was going back to school. So then it goes to Skoronski, who him and Paris Johnson Jr. are, I think, both going to be premier left tackles. They can be Pro Bowlers for a long time. But no, I understand where people are coming from, where later in the draft you can get more talent. But the thing is, you're taking a bigger risk, I think, even at that point, because that may be the talent that doesn't have the guarantee, right? We always see big fish, small pond kind of stuff. That's never a guarantee on that stuff. But David, I'll ask you this too, for the Bears' sake in itself. Obviously, we've talked a lot about Panthers and Colts and stuff. There's one team on here that obviously a lot of people are very intrigued by, that I always mention as a possible draft pick, and that is the Houston Texans. And we kind of talked about this a little bit on the radio side, but do you see the Bears possibly being interested in trading with the Houston Texans, or even the Texans themselves being interested in possibly swapping up to going with the Bears?
It'd be a fear move for the Texans. They've got to be completely sold on one quarterback and one quarterback only, and they're worried that another team's going to trade up to get that player. So whoever they come out of this combine and the pro days going, that's our dude.
Yeah.
If they feel like whatever team is going to trade up to get to them, they're going to make that move.
Yeah.
Now, if we'll take either CJ, or we would prefer CJ, but we'll take Bryce because we feel that they're not that far apart. They probably won't pull the trigger.
Yeah.
If I'm, and we said this yesterday, if we're trading with Houston though, there's a player involved in that trade for us.
Being
as the
Brandon
GM.
Cooks.
Brandon Cooks
Yeah.
has to be involved in that trade.
Yeah,
I would say so.
It's not. I mean, he's not going to cost, because his value at this point is probably no better than a 4th or a 5th round pick. He could easily be a solid number 2 on a team that would be a winner. But for this Bears team, he could easily be the number 1 receiver. And if you still wanted to trade back, if you did want to do the trade back with the Colts, you'd be giving up their first-round pick either this year or next year or something like that. Or I think probably next year's first-round pick, but you could still get this year's first-round pick and DeForest Buckner if you made that trade. You'd be giving up draft picks because of Buckner, but you could still then get your 3-technique defensive tackle. Then you get a wide receiver when trading before with Brandon Cooks.
Well, there's also rumors in the free agency that I've been hearing.
That's true.
Is I don't know why I'm going blank on his name, from Philly.
Javon Hargrave.
He's apparently a favorite that the Bears are planning on going after.
He wants major money, and the Eagles don't want to really pay him. So
and the Bears have it.
Absolutely.
The other free agent for offensive line.
Brown.
No, from San Francisco.
Oh, Mike McGlinchey.
Yes, those two are like guys that are highly projected the Bears are going to sign. So I mean, that helps your O-line, part of your O-line issue, and then you got your defensive guy in Hargrave because Hargrave, I mean, had a hell of a season.
Absolutely.
With Philly.
Yeah, here's my problem with Hargrave. How much of that was him? How much of that was the people that were around him?
That's fair.
That's true. That's a fair point.
Fair because they had 4 guys who had double digits in sacks, so the pressure was coming on. And look, again, nothing to take away from the Eagles, but their schedule was certainly easier than most, to say the very least, on this. So he is a good player. Deron Payne was considered to be the best guy. He just got franchise tagged.
He got tagged.
So, but there's another tackle too that nobody's talking about, which
tagged.
That's good. But there's another tackle out there that
I can't even get mad at it because it's a dad joke.
Jawan Taylor from Jacksonville is also potentially to be out there as well. The left tackle from the Jacksonville Jaguars, which we saw what they were capable of doing with him and Cam Robinson being on the edge. And he did a solid job with Brandon Sheriff being right there next to him. So he's available as well.
And the name that I threw out earlier when we were talking was Orlando Brown Jr.
Yes.
From Kansas City.
He will be the costliest guy, I think, in this draft.
He definitely will.
He's a 27-year-old premier left tackle. That's hard to pass on.
I just don't think Kansas City's going to be able to afford him. I don't know.
They
gotta do a lot of reconstructing.
That's the thing, is that they're gonna have. There's a lot of guys that are gonna get released potentially. We saw the Titans just released Robert Woods, who could be an option. There's Taylor Lewan, who right now says he favors the Bengals, but I'm sure any team that puts the right contract in front of him, he could take.
Ryan Poles has seen these guys.
Exactly.
Like,
He's
okay.
The free agent market is getting better. It's getting better. It's not where you would hope it'd be, but it's getting better with the guys getting released.
He's letting it marinate.
I don't think he's going to be taking. I don't think he's going to be taking aim at like Carson Wentz
until at least March 15th. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think he's taking a name at Carson Wentz. I don't think he's taking a name at Jameis Winston.
Oh my God. I will throw hands.
Exactly. So there's tons of options out there for the Bears, obviously, to explore.
I'm telling you guys right now, do not be surprised if they sign Marcus Mariota.
That just does nothing.
It's a possibility, but
it does nothing for you, but it gives you a solid 2.
Yeah.
Would you consider him? I'd consider him better than Trevor
I don't know
Siemian.
He would fit.
Sure,
the
he's
system
better than Trevor Siemian, but what's that? I mean,
that was your backup last year. You're upgrading your backup. That's what I'm saying.
See, but we were talking about getting someone late in the draft.
And I'm good. I like that because that's somebody that you can build with.
That's going to be a 3rd rounder if you've got.
Are they saying 3rd round now? They were saying like 4th, 5th. They were projecting.
Yeah, he's starting to drop because people are worried about his ACL right now.
Fine,
so, which is even better because
4th and 5th.
You get him for cheaper. You get
and
him.
then if Justin doesn't work out, there's your next quarterback for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, it's
insurance.
I'm always uncertain with Marcus Mariota because after what happened with Atlanta and everything, and he got upset with the Desmond Ridder stuff, I don't know how he's going to be able to handle being the backup again.
If you know going in that you're going to be the backup. He was told he was QB1.
Right.
Yeah.
And he had QB1 for a while there, and then obviously at some point they made the move.
I don't feel like I think this is where Mariota was coming. Not to sit here and say that it was the right move by Marcus by any means, but I feel like he felt like he hadn't done anything to lose the job.
Sure.
That offense was only as good as it could be, and that defense was god-awful.
No, that's understandable. Tyler, you were saying?
Wow, I totally went blank.
Okay, that's right. No, I will.
But Yeah, no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, well, for Marcus Mariota, I mean, I understand that completely. I understand that way of thinking, but you also have to understand, like as every football player does, and this is where Lamar has to understand, can't always be about the heart. It has to be about the business. If you're losing and you know your team is losing, you have to understand that at some point they got to take a look at the rookie and they got to see what he can do. I know you're upset about it, but you're not winning games.
So yeah, okay, now I remember.
Okay. Please.
Yeah, you said that. They said that Fields is going to be QB1 next year.
Yeah.
The thing is, this isn't the first time that we've had polls. Not, I wouldn't say promise something, but made a point like with Roquan. Like Roquan's not going anywhere, and then bam, he got traded. So it's not saying that Poles is a backstabber.
Right.
It's just this is business. So
That's what's best for business.
exactly. So.
No, I think his actual,
Even though I don't think that Fields is going anywhere.
I think his actual quote was, "As it stands right now, we're going with Justin."
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but if and I think that he actually did say this, if something pops off the page for us at the combine,
he has to be blown away.
Yeah.
Absolutely blown away definitively. Like, this is a guy we can't miss.
Let's go, Will.
Can't pass on.
And see, that's another thing that I was going to say earlier was that I feel like I think the Bears could just be traded, like we were talking about, just keep trading down.
Yeah.
Unless like there's a guy like within like that you can get in the top 10.
Yeah.
That they're very sold on, that they won't go that crazy. But
which might be, from everything that I've heard, it might be Skoronski.
It might be. Listen.
We'll have to see.
The man's
it's been
the
going back and
hometown
forth
dude.
with him in Paris about like the best.
They're right.
linemen
I mean,
out there.
they're the two right now best offensive linemen, I would say, in the draft. So if you're looking for the premier left tackle, if you can't find that guy, one of those two guys I think is perfect for you. But here again, you got to be careful, because if Atlanta doesn't move up and the Raiders don't move up, they're looking for offensive tackles too. And those are two hard guys that you can't really pass on, considering that their offensive lines do have staples already in Colton Miller, and the Atlanta Falcons still have Jake Matthews. So securing those ends, everybody's trying to do that. But we will see what happens. The Bears have a ton of time still. The combine is officially about to start here. So they're going to start measuring guys out. And then the draft is happening at the end of April. So we'll see how this thing all plays out. We'll see if the Bears do make a move. Obviously, let us know, guys. Blow T Whistle 1 on all the social media. When we do come back, though, we got to talk about the NBA, because these Chicago Bulls have been doing something that they haven't done in a long time. What's that? We'll be talking about that next here on Blow the Whistle, the live stream.
Hey, watch your mouth. Wine. I'll just put a quarter in the swear jar. Once it's filled, we get a Coors party after work.
I've been drinking Coors since my college days. The cold draft taste is second to none.
Yeah, worth the recorder, am I right?
You know it, mother.
Hey, you get those reports done?
Yeah. No.
You, sir.
Attention, employees.
The staff meeting, scheduled for this evening, will now be held tomorrow early as
That is all. Dudes, we're only 75 cents short. Oh, shh. The boss.
Hey, sir. Go yourself.
You're fired!
And welcome back, everybody, here to Blow the Whistle, the live stream.
Straight out of Lombard.
We've been here for years.
I tried to over-enunciate it that time, so I sounded super white.
Yeah, but you know what?
Straight
I
out of
appreciate that.
Straight out of Lombard. Village of Lombard.
If I could get nasally, I would, but
Straight out of Lombard.
nobody wants to hear that right now.
We've been here for years.
We've been here for quite some time.
All right, we gotta stop.
Yes, all right.
We're on a time constraint, goddammit.
All right, so what's up? Vamonos, let's go. SA. All right, just over enunciated. All right, we just got done talking about the Bears. We're moving into Bulls, and we're going to combine these a little bit, but we're going to start with Bulls. Boys, ready to hit this?
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it, baby.
Chicago Bulls, ladies and gentlemen, they are 2-0 since acquiring Mr. Patrick Beverly.
Who called it?
Holy cow.
Who called it?
I
don't know. Did you?
For someone
I don't
who
really
doesn't know NBA that well, I am spot on sometimes.
Now, wait, did you call them signing him or did you call him making the team better?
I called them signing him, and I said he would make the team better. I said both.
We're gonna
Okay.
have to bring this back.
I
remember.
do not think he's a pure point guard by
Okay.
any means. But I did think his attitude, the man said he was going to smack Levine.
That's true.
Basically.
Well, he didn't say it.
Not
but
physically, but like,
suggestions were made.
he was gonna be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
basically.
Absolutely. Well, so you're of the mindset then that Patrick Beverly has made an huge effect on this team.
I think Pat Bev has taken over that locker room.
Okay.
It sounds like. I mean, he's got that veteran
Look
leadership.
at the defense. Look at the defense they're playing.
Yeah. They.
Well, keep in mind, look at the teams they're playing.
Doesn't matter.
They blew
Defense
out.
is-
They blew out the Brooklyn Nets with no stars, and they
But the
just
thing is,
beat
the Nets shouldn't be
the
as
Wizards.
bad.
I said this to you yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
What has Chicago had issues with this year? Bad teams.
Yeah.
They play the really good teams really, really well.
Yes.
So now they're actually playing the bad teams well.
Yeah.
So great. Now they're gonna play the good teams bad.
Have faith.
No. I mean, we'll see. They'll have Phoenix. Phoenix on Friday is gonna really.
That's gonna be a rough one.
That's gonna be the point to see the Pat Bev effect.
Yes.
See if this show
Oh, no, they're going to get destroyed. But
defense.
here's
Have a little faith.
Have a little faith. Sprinkle a little faith on you.
here.
Here, it's sprinkling on you.
Listen, here's my thing. I think Pat Bev brings that sense of accountability to this team.
Yeah.
He's not going to let people just
He's not a BSer.
olay the whole time and
Right.
go. He's going to go stick to your freaking
Him
guy.
and Caruso too, like together.
They're a dynamic
they've founded something together with them, and they are locking it down.
And Ivory live together.
That's exactly where my mind went to.
Harmony.
That is. I mean, it's not much different from where we saw with Lonzo Ball. Obviously, Lonzo gives you better three-point shooting, better scoring, more assists. He gives you a lot more, obviously, than what Patrick Beverly does. But like you said, David, what Patrick Beverly seems to be bringing to this team is the accountability, is a leadership in the locker room that's needed to be on the court, not from the coaching
Hello,
section.
Kobe White's playing defense too.
Yeah.
Like what in the hell?
And he
Never
dropped
thought I'd
17 just
I
of
would have
late.
saw pigs fly before that. But now he's playing defense.
Absolutely.
But I mean, I think it's like, yeah, I think because he's that floor general guy. Mm-hmm. He's a true point guard. He's been in the league for a while, and he's a guy that will smack some heads if need be.
Yeah.
So I think he did some of that, and I don't know what the hell. Like
LeBron ain't going to listen to him if he pipes up. These guys might actually listen to him.
LeBron is I mean, in Los Angeles, LeBron is obviously El Capitan, the general, the president, right?
AD's not going to listen to him either.
No. Well, AD,
neither was
here's the
Westbrook.
thing. AD should listen to him because AD's not a leader, but AD thinks he's a leader, and that's the problem with the Lakers. That's their biggest issue.
He's going to have to be a leader now.
Yeah, well, now that LeBron is sitting out for quite a few
it's
weeks.
literally set up for Golden State to make it back.
You're glowing a little bit after I said that. I don't know if you
What?
noticed. When I said LeBron's sitting out a few weeks, your smile perked up a
no.
little bit and you're glowing a little bit more. I'm just saying.
I'm just.
He was popping those little New Year's Eve things. That was the pop that you
I
heard
feel terrible,
LeBron was Tyler doing.
I feel terrible. I don't know what you're talking about.
He says with the biggest grin on his face.
Such a shame.
Woe is me.
Oh no.
It's a Sorry.
You know, he's over it though. He broke the record. He don't need to play.
Yeah, he's done,
He's
and
fine.
as are the Lakers. So,
They've been done.
Yeah,
Rub some dirt on it and get back out on the court, Braun.
right.
Did you guys see what he said to Patrick Mahomes?
Oh,
He was at the same game. He's like, "You're not the only one that plays with a broken ankle.
Get out of here, dude.
Still gotta make it by yourself, do you?"
Yeah.
Sorry, off track.
No.
Bulls.
So in terms of the Bulls, obviously, it was 131-87 against the Nets. You've got a 102-82. They're shutting these teams down. These are potentially the
Best
lower bar teams.
They're not blowing the leads.
right.
They're taking the lead and they're taking
keeping it.
God, I haven't seen that.
I know it's been a long time.
That's why the thing about the Bulls this season is like it ain't over.
Yeah.
Like I've had like times where I've worked the game and they're like whoever's during the highlights like, wow, they're up by 20.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's
know.
over. I'm like,
well, that was my favorite is getting a text from somebody going, they're up by 10. And then they go, they're up by 20. They don't go up, they go down. And no, they go up. But the Bulls have.
Can we stop talking about blown leads? I'm having PTSD after the Penn State Rutgers game.
Let's not forget 28-3.
Shut your mouth.
I'm surprised that's not the one you really remember.
That's the
about.
one I would.
I was going more.
That's the one I would.
Block that one out of my mind.
No.
How? It comes every
It's
year.
everywhere.
They make a day for it.
It's true.
March 28th.
Okay, twice a year it gets brought up. Super Bowl and that
Which
game.
we're only a month away from. So they do have some tests coming up. In their next few games coming up for the next couple weeks, they've got Toronto in order.
I think they'll win that one.
Toronto, they've got Detroit, they've got Phoenix, they've got Indiana, they've got Denver, they've got Houston, Sacramento, and then they have Minnesota to end out the next 2 weeks.
Wait,
They could go. They could go 7-3.
Yeah.
I think so.
7-3.
Okay.
Let me see. I gotta look at that thing again. I lost track.
Yeah, sorry. I know. I kind
You're good.
Rattle them off real quick.
So-
All right, so you've got Toronto to start it off. They're in Toronto. They're in Toronto
Tough,
tonight.
but can
Tonight.
win.
Dub.
So they could get a win on that. It's going to be tough, but they could do it. You've got Detroit in Detroit.
They can win.
That's a win. You've got Phoenix. They're at home against Phoenix.
Gonna get beat.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have faith in that. Again, they play against good teams.
That is also the day that Kevin Durant is supposed to be playing too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's. I'm going to say it.
Or
It's
I thought he's making his debut Wednesday.
no, they said Friday. I think it was.
Now it's
yeah.
Friday?
It's Friday, I think.
He's gonna drop 42 on their heads.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but all right. So that may be
Pat
a
Bev will
potential
slap
loss. The Phoenix has obviously put something together. You've got the Pacers. They're at home against
Should
the
win
Pacers.
that.
Good win.
Then you're in Denver next.
No.
I'm in that boat too.
Dude,
then you're
Denver's so good.
I'll lean no there too.
if you
I
can
would
shut
lean
down
no.
the rest of the crew and just let Jokic do his thing, you've got a shot.
Yeah, but
Jokic has to be the main guy. Murray and those guys
But
can't do it.
MPJ has been
I know, he's
tearing it up lately.
stepping it up
like
now.
they're a scary team this year.
They're building, but
They're actually playing as long as Jamal Murray can stay healthy.
absolutely. But
Like,
then
all
then you're at Houston after that.
Dub.
Then you're against Sacramento. You're at home against Sacramento.
That one's gonna be a game, but they could go either way.
I'm gonna say that's a loss because Sacramento's got momentum right now.
They do.
They're doing
It's
a
gonna be
great
tough.
job.
Well, Bulls.
Vladdy's fantastic.
If Bulls keep
Oh, yeah.
winning, let's say Bulls keep winning from
Yeah.
now until then, they have momentum.
That's true. If
So,
they,
I
keep-
mean,
if
it
they
could
have a
go-
winning
it
streak
could be
going on that
interesting.
point, or they only have like the one loss against Phoenix, it could be a good matchup. Please let it be like they did against the Clippers. I want to see that game. I love that game. Second highest scoring game of all time in NBA history. Please and thank you.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Make it the first. All right. Then after Sacramento, they go. They're at home for 2 more games. They got Minnesota and then the Heat after that. at
Minnesota
home.
should be a win. Miami,
Could be a win too.
it could be a win. It's gonna be tough. Miami's been turning up lately.
Miami's
Yeah,
in a bit of a
but
turmoil.
But Miami, you never know who's gonna start.
Yeah, that's the tough
True.
thing. Miami's in a bit of a turmoil right now. Jimmy Butler's getting aggravated. And then obviously Minnesota, they've got the big man
They got
defensively.
Philly back to back after
yeah,
Miami.
and then
Yikes.
that's the tough one. Then you've got Philly back to back, and that's where I'll kind of close it off because that'll be a true test.
Take 1 and 2.
If you can do that, I think you've got a shot.
To be impressive.
But I don't know if they can do that because Philly is grooving right
Beverly
now.
would just charge at James Harden or something.
And Joel Embiid's playing like probably like a front runner for MVP, I would think at this point.
Over Jokic?
I mean, it's a toss up between the two of them.
Yoke's the man.
I mean, he's doing
Real quick,
his thing.
what was up with the scars and the cuts on his arm?
Who, Jokic?
Yeah.
He fought a bear. He didn't really fight a
Okay,
bear.
because that's what I kept saying. I'm like, he looked like he just wrestled a freaking bear.
No, he did. They did say it looked like he fought a bear, but
Yeah, he wrestled
I don't
cocaine
know
bear.
I don't know where that came from, but he was just like, whatever, it's nothing. I go score 40.
No, I feel like that's his pregame ritual.
Yeah,
Go
he-
wrestle a freaking bear.
Yeah.
And then go drop a triple double.
I call him Tiny because next to me he's tiny.
You know
He's
what
a cute little
what he's
puppy.
doing?
What?
He's doing the Jackie Moon pregame. There's a reference.
Very nice reference. Very nice reference. So yeah, look, the Bulls obviously after that they've got a bunch more games, but we're not going to go through all of them. They've got an opportunity here. It looks like to possibly cruise through. So just real quick before we get out of here, just for this moment right here and now for the Bulls, do you see them potentially being playoff contenders with this team right now after these 2 games? I know it's tough, but where do you guys see it? David, you start us off, man.
I'm gonna go trilingual with this. We
Ooh.
see and yes.
Okay. Tyler, what about you? And you broke the man.
Sorry.
I got you.
It was the we and C.
It is
Like
it's the
cheap
face
ass
turn that
freaking-
you're you're putting some cheek
Hooked
on
on
it.
phonics worked for me.
I think they can make. They'll make the play-in tournament. I think. I think they can sneak in there. With Washington being out with Porzingis, which has actually been significant, like oddly been helping the team.
Yes.
But all this stuff, I think that they can make playoffs. I mean, play-in tournament for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This is a new look at the Bulls. Like they're playing with some grit, and like it seems like the team's kind of back under control.
Yeah.
In a way. So yeah, I could see them sliding their way. This little weasel away in the play-in tournament.
Okay.
You too can learn multiple languages using Rosetta Stone.
We are not sponsored by either Hooked on
Hey,
Phonics or Rosetta
anybody,
Stone. But if they would like to, we are more than happy to take your phone
we will
calls.
go bilingual,
Email is open.
trilingual, quadlingual.
I'd love to learn French or try to learn French again. I failed it in
Tyler
high school,
wants to
but-
learn the shortest language in the world.
Why?
I don't know. I'm gonna figure out how to say bald in it.
Tyler Beautiful, ladies and gentlemen, with the comeback of the year. All right, well, that's going to do it for the Bulls talk, and we're just going to roll right into it because outside of basketball, as it is coming down to the closing end, baseball is officially starting up. We are in spring training. We are officially...
Is it weird that I'm actually kind of excited for baseball?
No, you can be excited for baseball.
I'm actually excited
I
for
had
baseball.
nothing last year. Like, I was just like, meh.
That is the
baseball,
weirdest thing
yay.
because your team was in the World Series.
No. And like mid-season,
Right,
I
it
started
all
going,
clicked.
okay, all right. But like this year, and it has nothing to do with the Phillies
Yeah.
for me being excited. I'm just
There's
like,
intrigue. There's a lot of
man,
intrigue. I mean,
this is actually going to be cool.
teams have made a lot of moves. Obviously, you look at the Phillies certainly made some moves. You've got the Mets who made
We got
every
Spider-Man.
move. Yeah. You have obviously the Cubs and the White Sox. They're looking interesting now as well.
They're actually looking a little bit. You got with the new manager.
Yeah.
Cubs actually spent some money over the offseason.
And those boys are looking good. I mean,
Suzuki is still trying to get Ohtani.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
there's going to be a lot more
Suzuki, now that
rumors.
you're injured, which I hope for a fast recovery. Now you got a little off time to like hit up your boy Ohtani. You know, come on. Chop, chop.
So you've heard the rumors too.
What?
If the Cubs are in contention come trade deadline, they are going to try and pull a blockbuster trade off.
What's the rumor? I haven't heard about that. Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it costs them a lot, but if they're willing to do it.
They're gonna trade and sign him for
Ohtani?
probably over $500 million.
He's worth it, dude.
He is absolutely worth
This is
it.
generational talent.
But that being said,
Ace pitcher, big hitter.
we brought up something yesterday with these new rules, the pitch clock
Yes.
and everything like that.
The new rules are in effect, and obviously...
Loving it.
We brought something up, something funny up that we would love to kind of see.
Okay.
Neither of us knew that the pitch clock was going to be that big.
I
Did
wasn't
you?
prepared for that.
I didn't know it was
takes
that
up-
big.
it-
I thought it was gonna be like a little tiny little
Yeah.
clock, but this thing is massive.
Think about this. The countdowns that are going to happen in stadiums now because of that pitch
As
clock.
in the fans
Stadiums are
counting
gonna be
it down.
chanting
Yeah.
it. Oh, that's
Absolutely.
gonna be amazing.
Giannis-esque.
Yeah. I think that's great. I think that's
no,
awesome.
I mean, totally. I mean, I could totally see Wrigley doing it.
Yeah.
I think for sure. But I mean, like every
yeah.
other stadium, they're gonna be doing it.
Absolutely.
Because it's all about the pressure.
Yes.
Because you can tell like some of these pitchers, like seeing how the pitch clock has gone, they're already like, damn, I gotta throw the ball already.
Oh, yeah,
And so like
absolutely.
now you're gonna have the fans just counting down. I'm all for it.
When the fans are more interactive with the game itself, it adds to the juice of the sport. And one thing baseball's missed a lot of is that fans are interactive with the sport, but not to the level of obviously football or basketball.
Exactly.
I mean, even hockey to some degree has the juice of the fans getting involved to some degree. Baseball's always kind of
Hitting
been
the boards.
Yeah, hitting the boards or anything like that. Like there's always been that interaction. Baseball doesn't really have that. So now the fans have that ability to be a part of the game, to possibly throw the pitcher off or throw the batter off.
It's more of starting to become like you said, like you're being a part of like a sport where you can get into it, not like a social event.
Absolutely, yes.
That's kind of
what it's always felt like.
It's always felt like a social event. Like
Yeah.
you just go to a Cubs game, a Sox game, or Phillies game just to sit there and just hang out.
Yeah, people don't want to go to just sit in chairs for 2-3 hours, which is not even the case anymore because now games are getting cut down
It's gonna be
by
sped
almost
up.
25 minutes total.
Not everybody feels that way. Brandon loves going there and sitting for 3 hours.
Oh, of course. Well, listen, and that is part of the problem, right? Is that
Does he? I don't know. He never told me. I love you, Brandon.
We love you, buddy.
He'll clog it out for you.
But yes, obviously, the rules are kind of coming in a mixed bag between people and players, right? Fans and players, I should say. There are many fans that I feel are certainly in the more, if not younger demographic, they're at least looking to say like the game needed to change demographic, let's say, and are on board with these new rules being good. There are others, of course, that are more on the side of, let's say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, who continue.
He asked me this yesterday. Let me talk to the older generation.
Well, I mean, I had a reference point here, but I didn't say it like that. I said you are more in the camp of liking these rules because you are a more forward thinker than most others who I would say are in that age range of you, David, that usually say, well, why do you have to fix baseball if baseball's so broken?
Listen, if you didn't think baseball needed fixing, you got other issues.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and here's the thing that I kind of brought up is that with the no shiftish.
Mm-hmm.
You can still shift. You can't shift completely.
Right.
And with the bigger bases, some teams that are going to be set up for success are going to be some of these teams that are younger.
Mm-hmm.
Cubs, I love the Cubs the way they are right now.
I'm liking
little ball and stick and ball kind of team. They can move on those bases now with like morale.
Mm-hmm. Even Swanson himself.
Dansby, yeah,
they've got guys that can fly.
But you have those guys stealing bases that are now 3 inches bigger. It's easier to steal a base.
and it's always fun
And
seeing
that
stolen
pitch
bases.
clock
Yeah.
helps you as well. Being able
Yeah.
to time out. See, I'm wondering if timing's going to start becoming an issue.
Absolutely.
You're going to be able to time out a pitcher with that clock.
Guys leading
Yeah.
off now are going to be able to take advantage of, do I lead off now or do I lead off later when it's only like 6 seconds left or something like that? Like if he's
Yeah.
taking too long,
And-
do I just jump the gun and
And
go?
you only get what, one?
TJ, correct me. Do you remember how
Is
many
it one
pickoffs
or
it was?
two?
Throwovers?
Yes,
Yeah.
throwovers.
You had to throw out two.
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 Okay.
You only
But after
get
that
two.
second one, I'm off to the races.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I didn't know about that. That
Yeah.
makes this even better.
Yeah.
Because that was so flippin' annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Just like they'd be doing like 5 in a row, and it's just like, oh my god, get this freaking game
You're only
over.
Yeah.
allowed two.
Thank God.
So
like
now
in
you have to be
in an inning or in a
precise.
game, like in the whole, or like what do you mean?
Per base.
Per
runner.
batter.
Got it. Oh, okay.
Per batter, correct, TJ?
You are correct. Per batter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So, yeah, so
Thank God.
you need to know when to use those at the right moment. So
This might
pitchers
be
are going to have to be on their
This might be the year
best.
Tyler's going to be the most interested in baseball in a long time.
And see, look,
And
you're
that's part
interested
of
in
the-
the game, and that's
Yeah,
important.
I'm like
It's
now.
part of the reason why I'm like, ooh, this is going to be
I was all
really
for.
cool.
When we heard like when the rules were breaking out, I was all for it. I'm like, okay, cool. This
Yeah.
makes it a little different because I'm like, for me, honestly, like it was hard to just kind of sit there and watch baseball.
Absolutely.
Like, it's just so
And
slow.
honestly,
It's
I
a bit
think
of a
I don't
chore.
have a great attention span.
Right.
Like, you got to do something for me to keep on.
I
Absolutely.
honestly think both of you should hashtag this out. Hashtag
Socks.
socks.
Mhm.
Hashtag
Cubs.
Cubs. Let the countdowns begin. And start having your guys' home fields
Mhm.
start being the ones that start doing the countdowns from the get.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely,
No,
for
'cause,
sure.
I mean, that's gonna be. Oh, it's gonna be fun.
And that's the great thing about like watching how this has gone, because like you said, the attention span thing, because we know that with every sport you're trying to get the next generation of fans in.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to view it, I view it a little unfortunately, attention spans now for kids is lightning quick because social media, internet, a lot of things have changed obviously since the past. Fine. But that's what you have to do. You have to keep their attention spans. And what is baseball doing?
See, mine's just my ADHD.
Yeah, and that's
Well,
the thing
see,
too.
but
It's
that's-
like even that's gonna
Well, yeah.
help. Like,
Anybody who says they have ADHD from your generation, I'm like, hey, there, y'all have it.
Everyone has it. Yeah.
but
Y'all
like
have it.
more motion on the bases, more hitting, more offense, things like that, quicker pace of the game. That's gonna help you be
Oh,
able
yeah.
to keep your attention on the game, be it in the ballpark or watching it on TV, which means, holy cow, baseball starts to see an uptick in its viewership.
Now, so you guys can just clear it up for me because I'm surprised I don't know how I didn't hear about this or know about it going into spring training, but the batters clock too.
Yes.
So if you guys have a better idea of how that exactly works, because obviously we saw a game ended in a tie, bottom of the ninth, because
TJ, explain it.
Yeah, the batter can, because the pitcher only has a certain amount of time to get the pitch thrown, the batter only has enough time to get into the batter's box. The time would be given,
8 seconds?
I believe it's something like that.
10
On
seconds,
top
I
of
think.
it,
Yeah.
you also have the clicker for them to get on the field again. They took off time because guys are kind of moseying out, trying to get the outfield. If they do not, I believe they consider it a balk if you are not out there for that first batter. So yeah, it's
So you can't
moving
take your
things
time
along
now. You
real
gotta
quick.
hustle.
you gotta get your ass out there.
Yeah. Which
Let's go.
yeah.
Never been so excited for baseball.
Yeah, which TJ and I and X-Bomb, we talked about this. The way the game's going to have to change now, and we kind of talked about this a little bit. The
Yeah.
athleticism of the players has to go through the roof.
Yeah.
Because you talk about a guy like O'Neal Cruz. We bring him up because he's obviously a favorite, fantastic athlete for the
Do you
Pittsburgh
know who
Pirates.
O'Neal Cruz is?
Heard the name?
He's the 6'7", 205 kid that plays shortstop for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Oh yeah.
He's outstanding.
The cannon.
massive.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's
He's a
only
massive.
205.
That one throw he had to first base last year, 104 miles an hour or something like that.
He also can run the bags faster than anybody in Major League Baseball right now.
Because it takes him
touches-
3 steps.
Yeah.
I was saying with his length.
Well, it's not even that. He's just fast. Like he beats out Billy Hamilton, I think, on bag speed.
6'7"?
6'7", yeah. He's like a sprinter.
6'7" shortstop.
Yeah,
Just the oxymoron of that is great.
absolutely. But you talk
Nothing's
about
getting past
that kind of athlete.
That's crazy.
Everybody's going to be looking for that kind of guy. Faster on the bags, faster with his feet,
But now,
better
is
gloves.
this going to raise concern for injuries though, with pitchers having to like kind of
Rush
basically
their pitches?
well, yeah, whip them out?
It's possible. I mean, that's something that's being discussed right now is if you're not set up properly or if a batter's not in, swing, it takes a rugged swing, he could pull something, which
I
could
can
always happen.
I can almost see that.
How
if this-
often did Mark Burley get injured?
Fair point. I mean,
I'm
Stroman
sorry,
works
as
pretty
a
fast,
catcher,
too.
I want my pitchers to go fast.
Keep
You
it warm.
stay limber.
Yeah.
You get yourself into a rhythm way faster.
That's true.
I'm
I'm always raising concern if injuries do become an issue, they might change it. They might either add more time to the clock.
Right.
Those are guys that weren't in condition to begin with.
Well, and that's going to
That's
be
fair.
the main topic is obviously if you're
Oops.
if you're,
myself.
yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, Tyler's talking again. If these guys are getting injured, I think that'll be a topic of discussion for sure. And these rules are going to be subject to change without a doubt, because this is brand new, fresh stuff, and everybody's going to have their opinion on this and that, right? You already have, like Max Scherzer already said, like, this is really helping the pitchers out in a big way. Batters are going to get mad about this, but it can go to the batter's advantage too, because if you get on base and you only have limited pickoffs and you're a guy that doesn't usually know how to run, now you have the chance to actually steal bases for once. Mm-hmm. So now the game progresses, and now the offense can go to another level. So it's all about figuring out the happy middle, I think. But right now, I would say personally myself, the rules are working. They're working, and they're working in favor of the game itself. Because if they didn't do this, it dies. Baseball's dead if it doesn't. What is it from Moneyball that Brad Pitt says? Adapt or die.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite quotes from that movie. I know it's weird, but it's adapt or die. You have no choice.
Now, real quick, I just want to get. Sorry.
Yeah, no, please.
I know we're gonna wrap it up right after
Yes.
this. But this was an interesting take that someone said.
Okay.
It's gonna be stupid because it was on TikTok.
Okay.
But I found it very interesting. So instead of you have your lineup, because obviously you want to place the guys in of where you want them to bat and which hole. But he made a good point, is that in game time decisions, games on the line, you get to choose, like in basketball, who you want to take the last shot.
Right.
Or in football, you're gonna choose who's gonna get the ball in their hands to put you up in there or go for the field goal or stuff like that. So someone threw out the idea, and I thought it was just very interesting, is that instead of having, because like with baseball, you can be full count, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth, and you're stuck with your worst hitter, or like one of your worst, not your best hitter. So instead of having like the rotation, each manager gets a certain amount of at-bats for each player. So there's not like an actual rotation like you go through. Yeah. It's just like, okay, we're in this position, you're going to throw Aaron Judge in there or something like that to go take it in.
See, but
it's
that's
interesting.
That's the great thing about
it is interesting.
That's the great thing about baseball, though. Because even Aaron Judge could go up there and swing 3 times and whiff.
Right.
It's gambling.
Absolutely.
It's a gamble. So I mean, in a way, I could be like, this sounds fun. It's out of the, obviously, like, normal, authentic style of baseball. But granted, they're already making changes that it's not as authentic anymore.
Right.
I don't know if I'd be all for it, but I'm like, it's
intriguing.
It's intriguing.
It's very intriguing.
That's where cybermetrics comes in, though.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, that's when, if they're bringing in their closer, the other manager's going, all right, who has the stuff for that guy?
Well, like, one of my favorite things I saw, it wasn't on TikTok, but I saw somebody talking about it, like, what if they had like a home run hit off for extra innings and stuff, where you get your best guys, and whoever hits a home run first. Derby. Yeah, whoever hits a home run first.
Or furthest.
Yeah, furthest or something like that wins the game.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Like, that is total fan service, but obviously this is what the game needs to kind of pivot to, is more towards the fans, because they're the ones that keep the game alive. So
keep the game alive.
It's money in your pockets.
Exactly. We pay for it, so you're welcome, owners. But baseball's about to get very interesting here, folks. A lot of people are very excited for it.
I'm excited.
Change has come, and change can sometimes be good. It's okay.
My pen is really long.
I don't know how to take that.
That was not a euphemism either.
I was going to say, I don't know how to take that.
Yeah, one of those fights.
Just real quick.
That made it shorter. How is that possible?
I think it's all
How is that possible?
It's all about the angle. Not strong, man.
It's immediately what I thought of. Damn you, Tyler. Real quick before we get out of here, I didn't get a chance to catch it. Our boy King BMX saying on our Twitch, that's twitch.tv/XBombSports. He had this to say about the Bulls. I want to make sure to throw this out there. He said, having a true starting point guard allows guys to be in roles they're more comfortable playing. He also said Io isn't ready to be a starting point guard. I agree with that.
I agree.
He said he moves to the bench now where he's more comfortable at this stage in his development. 100% agreement.
Yeah. I think he's about, 2 years? 2? 3?
I give him 2 more years coming off the bench. Give him more starting time.
He got drafted when he was 19.
22. He's older.
Io?
Yeah. He was a senior in college. People forget that.
Yeah, he was a senior.
He was 22
was it Kobe
years
that
old.
was 19?
Yeah.
No, Kobe was also 22 also.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. I'm telling you right now, look it up. And he finally says, more importantly, another ball handler keeps Zach and DeMar from being the ones initiating the offense because that's not their games. Absolutely, thank you, B-Mac.
And not fighting who gets the shot.
I've gotten so many emails from people being like, no, those guys can take the ball off the court. They can't. They're not those dudes. They're shooters.
Kobe is 23 now.
I told you.
I said when he was drafted.
Yeah, which was, he didn't get drafted. He went undrafted.
Kobe White?
Oh, you mean Kobe White? I thought you were talking about, I heard the wrong thing. My bad. I heard Kofi Coburn in my head.
Oh, no,
I heard Kofi, not Kobe. I apologize.
Oh, no, you're good.
No, when Kobe got drafted, yeah, he was like 19 or 20 years old,
I was getting
something like
him
that.
and Io mixed up.
Yeah.
But okay.
My apologies, folks.
No, you're okay.
Yell at me through the email if you want.
Please do.
But yeah, good point on there, B-Mac. Sorry I was able to catch it, but thank you again for the comments. And thank you all for watching and listening, because that's going to do it for our show.
we got to go.
We got to go because our
TJ's
boy...
got to make money.
TJ's got to make money. We didn't do You're Killing Me Smalls. We'll save it for next Monday, next
we'll do
Tuesday.
An extended, because I'm sure Alabama will do something stupid again.
Oh, they already... Oates already said something. What did he say? We'll talk about that next week here on the show. Thank you. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, we do appreciate you guys watching and listening. You guys can check these beautiful boys out. You want to throw out your stuff just real quick?
No, I'm good.
I know you've got a lot to rattle off.
I'm good. I'm good, man.
Tyler, anything for you?
Follow me on Twitter, Tyler Buterball. Instagram, Ty_Butterball45. Find me, as Andrew said, with these pretty folks.
Yep.
And yeah, that's about it.
Let's go. We got.
Absolutely.
I know we gotta go.
TJ and I got
we gotta
stuff
go, ladies
to do,
and gentlemen. Make sure to follow Blow the Whistle radio site, SportsTownChicago.com, and on Twitch at SportsTownShy, twitch.tv/SportsTownShy. You can also find us here on the TV side for XBomb Sports, on the Twitter, on the Twitch, and on the YouTube side here at the XBomb Sports YouTube and Twitch page. So make sure to check us out there. So make sure to follow us on those pages as well. Also follow us on Blow T Whistle 1 on Twitter and on Instagram. You can also hit us up at blowtwhistleradio@gmail.com as well for any questions or comments like that. Podcast stuff real quick. You guys can check out Hannah Brummer's Monday Motivation with Hannah B. Check out
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Dude.
Brandon.
Are you trying to
Baseball
piss me
Banter
off?
with Brandon. You can also hit up XBomb Sports every Wednesday and Thursday. We'll be going live tomorrow and on Thursday. And that's going to do it. Of course, Unpack with the Knack's going to be on Wednesday.
That one I will agree to.
Because we're going to be going live tomorrow.
Retro?
With the classic retro baseball.
Retro?
Correct?
We'll talk about it. Yeah, I got some stuff.
Okay.
Oh.
So we might be in for some surprises. So again,
He's got
it's
stuff.
Unpack with the Knack here on the Twitch side and everything. Be sure to check it out tomorrow, Wednesday, 3:00 p.m. Central Time. And that's going to do it for us here, ladies and gentlemen. Stay positive, think positive, and positive things will happen to you. We'll see you guys all next week. Peace out, everybody.